For those of you unaware of the many layers of Star Wars fandom, we just passed Triple Force Friday this last Friday. That, of course, being the event that is geared specifically towards rolling out the new products for the Star Wars licenses. Things like The Mandalorian, streaming exclusively on Disney Plus streaming service, as well as the new Star Wars video game Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and of course, the final Star Wars movie coming out this holiday season. They rolled out all sorts of great new merchandise, and you better believe I had to go out there and buy quite a bit of it. So in today's video, we're going to be checking exactly what I picked up on this Force Friday haul. So first things first, I gotta say I had a heck of a time trying to track down a lot of these Triple Force Friday figures. I woke up extra early and went out to the stores Friday morning because I knew none of the stores around me were having a midnight release or anything like that. So I wanted to get a first early shot at a lot of these figures. So I went out there early and visited 4 different Walmarts before I went to work on Friday morning, and I only found one store that had any products. I was very disappointed. Many times I'd walk into the Walmart, so I'd grab the shopping cart and I'd head back towards the toy aisle, and I'd walk up and I'd see where the Star Wars toys should be, only to be greeted with empty pegs. Now I knew it wasn't a case of them being sold out at 5 a.m. so I went ahead and asked the employees. I said, hey, where's these new Star Wars figures that are supposed to come out? And almost always I got the same response. Either A, we haven't got them out yet, they're still saran wrapped in the back somewhere, or B, I don't know what you're talking about, you'll have to ask somebody else. Typical Walmart experience. Full disclosure, I'm an absolute sucker for anything Star Wars vintage collection. I specifically love the 3 3/4 figures, and I absolutely collect every single one of them, each one they come out. Luckily, Triple Force Friday had a bunch of new vintage collection figures, so I absolutely picked up every single one I saw. So let's go ahead and check it out. First things first, we've got Lando Calrissian from Return of the Jedi, and what I thought was actually pretty interesting about this, the face sculpt is really well done. They did a good job with the likeness, but it's pretty cool. They got an individual bubble blister thing there for his helmet, so I thought that was actually kind of neat. They didn't really kind of jam pack it in there with his I don't know, what do you want to call that, a dagger, staff, sword? It's all sorts of different weapons in one. If it's got an official name, I've never known it, but pretty cool figure. Pretty excited about that one. Like I said, the character detail on that is great. And then of course we've got Luke Skywalker in his X-Wing pilot costume. Again, great likeness with this. I really like what Hasbro's doing with these face sculpts on these 3 3/4 ones. They've really stepped up their game, and they look a lot better than old releases in the past. But of course he comes with his helmet as well as his blaster. And then of course from Rise of the Skywalker, we've got a new Rey figure. This I think is the 3rd in the Vintage Collection series that we've got so far of Rey. But she comes with buku accessories. She's got her lightsaber, a staff, a lightsaber without the blade, so just the hilt, and well as a blaster pistol herself. And then of course, this one I was probably the most excited about. We have the Vintage Collection release of a Knight of Ren. So Knights of Ren was something that was kind of like omitted from the Star Wars Episode 7. We saw some character art as well as some photos of the Knights of Ren, but they didn't really make it into the movie too much. It was just like this half-a-second flash scene that we got. So it looks like we're going to get to see more of the Knights of Ren character in the Rise of Skywalker. But this figure is a specific Knight of Ren, doesn't have an official name other than Knight of Ren. Very generic, but he's got a staff that looks like it has a battle axe top that you put it on there. Very cool figure. Obviously looks a little similar to Kylo Ren, hence the name Knight of Ren, but very cool figure. Very happy to find that one because I figured that was probably going to be the hardest one of that series to come out. As well as a newer one, again for the Rise of Skywalker, we have the Sith Jet Trooper. He comes with 2 blaster pistols, a bigger and smaller one. I'm still undecided on whether I absolutely love or hate these red troopers. I'm kind of gearing towards love just because it's something different. And of course, you know, we all kind of love those Imperial Guard guys that looked awesome, but I'll be very curious what the story is on these Sith troopers, whether or not they're accurate. You know, they can shoot somebody and actually watch out for door frames and they don't bust their heads on the doors. And then, of course, we've got Poe Dameron from the Rise of Skywalker. He's in his X-Wing suit. Again, another awesome job on the face sculpt on this. It looks a lot like Oscar Isaac's. Comes with his little blaster pistol as well as his helmet, but all sorts of nice accessories and details on these 3 3/4 figures. And then we have a new character that we don't really know a whole lot about, but we got Zori Bliss. I'm assuming that's how I'm pronouncing it, or supposed to pronounce it. But Zori Bliss, she comes with 2 blaster pistols. They look almost like pirate pistols from back in the day. Very cool to see those, but she's got a very intricate helmet and some gold and maroon pieces on her, so very cool looking figure. And then I picked up the second Sister Inquisitor Black Series figure. This one is pretty neat, has her specific dual-bladed lightsaber that doubles as almost like a helicopter thing as it rotates round and round. Of course, the Inquisitors appeared in the Star Wars Rebels television series, which is a very good watch. I definitely recommend going back and checking that show out if you haven't already. But she comes with this beautiful cape as well as these 2 unique shoulder pad accessories. So you put on the cape and you can't have the shoulder pads, or you put on the shoulder pads and you can't have the cape. So it's an either or type of scenario, but regardless, the only thing I didn't like about this figure is her hands. She had very closed hands, meant to really kind of hold a gun or something like that, so I had to really pry her fingers back just to get this lightsaber in her hand. But regardless, after I was able to pry it open and everything, it looks good. She holds it, it's steady, it's sturdy. Very happy with this figure. And then of course we have the Sith Trooper figure from the Black Series. This is the more articulate line, although I will say the joints on this figure are very stiff. I'm going to chalk a lot of that up to the fact that he's wearing armor, so he's not going to have the same kind of articulation abilities that people that were just wearing normal clothing or soft goods or something like that. So since he's got that hard plastic armor, it is a little bit hard to move some of his joints, but he does stand, he is able to pose. He does come with 2 big blasters just like the 3 3/4 figures, so very happy to see those. But pretty cool looking figure, gotta say. This is the regular version. There's a carbonized version. It's a little more metallic painted out there on Amazon, I believe. Of course, I'll put product links down in the video description box below of everything I picked up in this video in case you don't want to waste your time going out there and trying to find this stuff. And even though it wasn't a Force Friday release, I also went ahead and picked up the Emperor Palpatine figure from the Black Series. This comes with the Emperor's throne. The throne, I gotta say, it's pretty good, but there's definitely some pros and cons to it. So the pros, it is pivotable, so you can spin it around, so that's good. I was happy to see them not cheap out on that and just make it one piece. But it's not the heaviest thing. It's very light. It's hollow plastic, but it does have a lot of good details. I thought it was interesting that the cushion for the throne is actually kind of soft and spongy. Nice little soft rubber in there, so your figure is going to have creature comforts there. But details, they even got this little prong there that sticks out of the top of the throne. Very cool. Emperor himself, he comes with removable hands. His hands that you can swap out have the Force Lightning attached to them, which is really unique because a lot of the Hasbro figures from Marvel Legends and Star Wars have been having this rubber lightning type of thing that you just kind of wrap around the hands, but this is actually attached to the fingertips, so it really kind of seals that deal, that Force Lightning effect that the Emperor would do. Other than that, the soft goods were great, the cape's good, the removable heads, he comes with 2 alternative heads, those both look great. Overall, pretty happy with the figure. Definitely recommend picking it up, if not for the throne, because like I said, even though it is hollow and does feel light, it's worthwhile in my opinion. Worth the price of admission, let's put it that way. So definitely check out the Emperor Palpatine throne if you're looking to round out your Black Series Star Wars collection. And that does it for this video, guys. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing and make sure you hit that notification bell so you'll be the first to know every time I upload new content. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.